Hello everybody, and a few days ago I asked you guys to ask me questions about Advanced Warfare and I would answer them in a video. So that is what this video is going to be today. I've grabbed all the questions that I could see from the comment section of that video and I'm going to be answering them in this video. Now if you do have any further questions that I haven't answered, feel free to leave them in the comment section and I will just respond to them by typing back to you guys instead of making a whole new video. But hopefully this video does clear up most of the questions that you guys have about Advanced Warfare. So let's go ahead and get into the first question. So the first question, or should I say the first questions, comes from 7-9, who asks, is there a counter UAV? What happens if I upgrade my UAV and counter UAV? So there is something that is called a scrambler, which is the same as a counter UAV. It scrambles the enemy's radar. And the way that you get that is by upgrading the UAV. So there's not like a separate counter UAV that you upgrade the UAV to be a scrambler. So that's how you are able to get a counter UAV, is by upgrading your UAV. The next question that he asks is there any perk for people to not use toughness in this game? Any perk that competes with it? There is no perk that is a direct counter to toughness. I think it's gonna be a situation where pretty much everyone is gonna be running toughness just like they did in Black Ops 2, but for the longest time, I actually did not use toughness in Black Ops 2, and I did perfectly fine. So if you wanna be a sneaky ninja and not use toughness, it can work because you just have to not get shot. So if you can not get shot, then you don't need toughness. But yeah, I think most people are gonna be running with toughness. The next question that he asks is, does Cloak break the game? If Optic Scump was in the lobby, would everyone have a chance in the match, or should we all just back out? Cloak is a lot better than it is in Titanfall. Like, if you guys play Titanfall and you see someone use Cloak, you can see them very easily. Like, it is super easy to freaking see them. Whereas in Advanced Warfare, it's a little bit harder to see them when they use Cloak, but you can definitely still see them. I wouldn't say that it's broken because you can see them when they're cloaked, and also when you shoot and you're cloaked, it breaks the cloak, and also when you get shot, it breaks it as well, or if you take any kind of damage. So there's a lot of ways to counter Cloak, so it's definitely not broken. And the last question that he asks is, how OP are snipers? I would say that snipers are pretty balanced in Advanced Warfare, not because they've necessarily done anything to make snipers bad, but because of the movement in Advanced Warfare. Like, a sniper can do really good, but because the game is very fast-paced and because people are flying and jumping all over the place, it's a lot harder to hit the one-shot kills than in previous Call of Duty. So I think that the snipers are fine. Obviously, I haven't tried all of them. I haven't had all of them used against me. But from what I've seen so far, I would say that in Advanced Warfare, snipers are perfectly fine because you can avoid them very easily. The next question is from Zia, or Zaya, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, and they asked, I saw that there was a grenade that followed people and heard it was in multiplayer. Have you experienced any issues with this grenade seeking thing? So I have played against it in Advanced Warfare and it's kind of annoying, especially on like Hardpoint. I could imagine it would be annoying on Domination too, because you could just leave the grenade there and someone will walk by and it will follow them. So it's kind of annoying, but one thing about it is that it's not lethal. So it's not lethal on its own. You have to already be injured if it's going to kill you, and if you're wearing flak jacket, then it's just like never gonna kill you ever. Like, just never gonna kill you. So I don't really think it's an issue. If you are experiencing a lot of those grenades in the lobby, you can just switch to a flak jacket class and it won't bother you whatsoever. But yeah, I don't think it's an issue because it's not lethal. Obviously we haven't seen it in multiplayer online and had a lot of experience with it, but from what I've seen so far, it's not lethal, which means that it's perfectly fine. The next question is from Calvin Brown, who asks, how is the time to kill, like Ghosts or Black Ops 2? So this is actually one of the main things that I wanted to figure out and wanted to see for myself, because I think it's like the most important thing, if not one of the most important things in an FPS game, because it sets the pace of how the game is going to be played. So I would say that it's somewhere between Ghosts and Black Ops 2. You definitely don't die as fast as you do in Ghosts, but I think that you die a little bit faster than you do in Black Ops 2, and I would personally prefer it if we died in the same amount of time as the original Black Ops. I think that would be perfect for Advanced Warfare, so we'll see when it comes out, but I would personally say that it's somewhere between Ghosts and Black Ops 2. The next question is from Ethan Bigham, who asks, is the drop shot still relevant? So my first initial thought was like, no. Drop shot is never gonna work in this game, ever. But then as I played for longer, I actually found myself drop shotting in certain situations. So there were some situations where I would jump, there were some where I would boost it aside, and then there was some that I would drop shot. And in those situations that I did drop shot, I found that it was helpful, that it did actually work for me. Now, I don't know if that's because I haven't fully adjusted to playing Advanced Warfare the way that it's supposed to be played, or if it's because drop shotting is still relevant, but what I would say is you can still use drop shotting, but there's going to be so much other movement that you can do. So there's going to be situations where jumping is better for you. There's going to be situations where boosting to the side is also better for you. But I still think there are certain situations where you're super close in front of someone and they surprise you and you drop shot. So yeah, I would say that it's still relevant, just maybe not as relevant as it is right now. The next question is from Cosmo Stars, who asks, are there new game modes besides Uplink? Are the maps better? And is the shotgun and submachine guns overpowered? Or should I say, what gun class is overpowered? So in terms of the new game modes, obviously you guys all know about Uplink, but there's also a quote-unquote new game mode called Momentum, which is based on War Game from COD 4. Now, I know that for a lot of people really enjoyed War in COD 4. I hear about it all the time. They're like, they should bring War back. War was amazing. So hopefully it's super awesome in Advanced Warfare. We haven't been able to play it yet, but hopefully it is awesome. In regards to the maps, I personally enjoy all of the maps. I think there were some people that didn't enjoy Biolabs, but then I heard some people say Biolabs was their favorite map. So I think that the maps are perfect for how the game is. Of what we've seen so far of the maps, I personally liked all of them. I think all of them work well for the type of game that Advanced Warfare is. And in terms of what guns are overpowered, I honestly can't say right now. I did not experience one time that I was like, oh my god, what gun is this dude using? It's just killing me instantly and I have no chance. I didn't experience that when I was playing. So I honestly can't say. Maybe there will be like a supply drop gun that's like some super godly amazing gun. But I don't know that as of right now. But I would say personally, from my experience so far, I haven't experienced any gun that made me feel like I had no chance whatsoever. The next questions come from King Nemba and Jordan Holyfield, who want me to talk about perks and killstreaks. So let's go ahead and just run down the way that perks work and the way that killstreaks work in Advanced Warfare. So starting off with the perks, you have lightweight, which is pretty self-explanatory, low profile, which keeps you off the UAV and makes you unable to be tracked by tracking devices, danger close, which increases your explosive and score streak damage, which is really interesting. I think it's really interesting that it increases your score streak damage. Next you have overcharge, which makes your exo ability last longer, and it also electrocutes people when you do a slam on them. So if you're in the air and you boost slam into the ground on top of them, you perform a melee attack, and when you have overcharge, it will actually electrocute them after you do that. And then you have flak jacket, which reduces the damage taken from explosives, no slowdown when you get hit by explosive damage, and it resets the grenade times when you throw them back. For the tier 2 perk slots, we have peripherals, which increases your minimap coverage and take out enemies without displaying death icons. Next you have blind eye, which makes you undetectable by tracking drones, explosive drones, and all score streaks except the UAV. Next you have cold-blooded, which makes you immune to thermal, target enhancer, threat grenade, and enemy callouts. No name displayed or reticle color change when enemies aim at you, which sounds really awesome actually. Cold-blooded? It sounded kind of cool. Next you have fast hands, which makes you able to reload while sprinting, swap weapons, use exo abilities, and use the exo launcher faster. And then you have gung ho, which makes you able to fire while sprinting and sliding, which is super interesting. I'm really interested to see how people use gung ho properly, because I feel like it could be really amazing if you use it properly. Moving on to the tier 3 slot for perks, you have toughness, which reduces your flinch when shot, scavenger, which makes you start with extra magazines and resupply bullet ammo from dead bodies, Then you have Blast Suppressor, which makes you not show on the minimap when you use your EXO movement. So if you guys weren't aware, if you double jump and then you boost, it actually shows you on the radar. So you can see when people are boosting. And if you use Blast Suppressor, you won't show on the radar. Next, we have Hardwired, which makes you immune to system hack, EMP, nano swarms, stun grenades, and scramblers. And lastly, you have Hardline, which decreases your score streak cost by 100. So those are all of the perks. They're actually really simple, and I like that. I like them. I think that the simpler they are, the easier it is to balance them, and balance is always a good thing. Now, in terms of the kill streaks, I'm actually not going to go into detail about the kill streaks because it's not just like, oh, there's a UAV and there's a care package. If you guys didn't know, you can actually upgrade the kill streaks, so it's like a UAV, but there's 5 billion different types of UAV. And then there's a care package, but you can upgrade it to be like 5 billion different care packages. So what I'm gonna do instead is leave a link in the description to a web page that gives you all of the information that you need to know about kill streaks. All of the kill streaks that are in the game, and also all of the upgrades that you can do for the kill streaks that are in the game, because it will be like a 20-minute video. And the last question comes from Ghost, who asks, am I gonna have to buy a SCUF controller for Advanced Warfare and Destiny? So I've actually seen this question asked a lot, and I can completely understand, because obviously a big part of Destiny and a big part of Advanced Warfare is jumping. So for Destiny, I would say that you really don't. I don't think it's gonna make a difference if someone has a SCUF. For Advanced Warfare, I would say that it would probably be an advantage if you had a SCUF, but I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be a crazy advantage. It's gonna be the same advantage as it is right now. If someone has a SCUF right now, they can jump shot as much as they want, and they can aim as much as they want while they're doing it. And it's gonna be the same for Advanced Warfare. Of course, there's gonna be more people jump shotting in Advanced Warfare than there is in Ghosts or Black Ops 2. So I would say that it would be beneficial for sure to have a SCUF controller, but if you're good at the game, you are not gonna need a SCUF. So that is it for all of the questions. One thing that I did want to add to tell you guys, in case you were not aware, is that there is gonna be a playlist in Advanced Warfare that takes away EXO abilities. So if you are worried about the game being super futuristic and not being able to enjoy it, there's gonna be a playlist for you guys that is just gonna have the same movement as all the other Call of Duties. So don't worry about that. You can hop into like the bare bones playlist and go back to playing old school Call of Duty. So I hope you guys found this information useful. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you do have any more questions, leave it in the comment section and I will respond to them via the text and the keyboard. So I will speak to you awesome people later. Bye.